So good morning, everyone. I'm Jim McLaughlin, class 93, Director of Athletics, and I want to thank everybody for joining us here this morning and for the many, many people that are joining us here virtually. I couldn't be more excited to welcome back the 2014 National Championship team. And we've got a great slate of events planned for them this weekend. We just left a beam signing that will be forever displayed down at Mohawk Harbor, so they'll always be part of that building. Mike, is it true you signed your wrong number when you were signing the beam today?
Sure did.
But we'll forgive that and move forward. So throughout this weekend, we'll celebrate everything that was achieved, and let me just share what was achieved. It was, in my estimation, the most remarkable achievement in college sports history over the last 100 years. What this team did over their 4-year period here, not just the national championship, they won 75% of their games. They won 3 regular season ECAC titles. They won 3 tournament championships. They went to the NCAA tournament every one of their 4 years. They've had 2 Frozen Fours and a national championship, which was absolutely incredible. And the pride that you instilled and the joy you instilled upon Union has been absolutely immeasurable. We look forward to learning more about your personal experiences through those 4 years. So we've got a great group of individuals. I'll have each introduce themselves and tell us what they've been doing for the last 10 years and what they're doing now. So we'll start with our captain, Mat Bodie.
Hi, Mat Bodie, 2014 class. Past 10 years, still been playing hockey. Most recently in Germany for the past 5 years with Team ERC Ingolstadt. Playing with Wayne Simpson, who was class of 15 from Union. So still playing hockey, and then three little boys now. So life's a little different from when I was last at Union.
Daniel Carr, class of 2014. I'm still playing hockey, and this is like Matt, my 11th year pro, and now I play for Hockey Club Lugano in Switzerland. And unlike Matt, I don't have any kids, and my life hasn't changed that much.
Shayne Gostisbehere, class of 2015. Still playing hockey. Just re-signed with Carolina, so very excited. Like Dougie, no kids. Got a wife though, Gina. She graduated in 2016. We're doing great. We're hunkering down in Westport, Connecticut, and yeah, living life.
Hi, Cole Ikkala, class of 2014. At Union, I did managerial economics and pre-med, so after school, I jumped into the corporate world in the biotech industry, investing, operations strategy. So I've been doing that for about 10 years. That has taken me in different countries, different states. I've moved a lot, married, 3 kids and a dog, similar to Mat Bodie, so much different life I'm living now, but happy to be here.
I'm Kevin Sullivan, class of 2014. Similar to Dan and Shane, I have no kids. I was not as good at hockey as some of these guys, so I work in commercial real estate in New York City. This is where I live, and yeah, similar to Dan, not much has changed for me.
Mike Vecchione, class of 2017, still playing hockey for the Hershey Bears. Yeah, that's about it. Got engaged and still live in Saugus.
Go Boston. Yeah.
Go Celtics.
So when I look at this panel here and I see the depth and breadth of talent, we've got All-Americans, we got League Players of the Year, we've got NHL players, we've got some pretty good hockey players. So I just wonder, what was your path to Union? Why did you choose Union? What other options did you have? Mike, you want to start off?
Yeah, initially I was committed to UNH. Things didn't really go well, and kind of what Jim was talking about before, these guys had such a good track record going to Frozen Fours, winning ECAC championships, and when I got the call from Rick to come to Union, I just saw that trajectory and I was like, I want to be a part of that. It looks like something special, and pretty thankful that UNH and I didn't really get along that well, and ended up here at Union because I was able to win a national championship with this group of guys and be a part of something special and get a degree. So I couldn't ask for a better turnout.
We got a thank you card to UNH, you could sign your way out.
For me, I actually went to boarding school about an hour and a half away from here at first year school, which was kind of a small school, probably a little similar to how Union is as a college, and it was the right fit academically and athletically for me. And then I think I committed when I was around a junior. It was one of the first schools I got an offer from, and the coaching staff in the school was just really comfortable for me and my family and my parents, so, glad I made that choice.
Yep, so I was playing juniors in Vernon in the British Columbia Hockey League. I had been playing for 2 years, 2 very long seasons. I actually went to the finals in our league two times against Mat Bodie and Dan Carr. So, I was ready to get to school. I had a couple options, mostly in the East Coast hockey leagues, but the attractiveness to Union was the ability to kind of prioritize academics and athletics. So Coach Bennett really stressed that, and the spring visit was a lot of fun. So as soon as I came for that, had fun managing, I committed the next day.
Yeah, similar to Sully. I went to a small boarding school in South Kenton, Connecticut. I actually played Sully in high school. It was actually pretty good.
Thanks, Shane.
Yeah. So, like Sully, it was a really small school, and Union was my first offer, and I was a junior, and I decided to take it. But of course, like 2 weeks later, Nate left, and he went to Providence, and then he wanted me to go to Providence, and Rick was a big person for me in the sense that he wanted me to stay at Union, and very happy I did because obviously everything we did and accomplished. So it worked out well.
So I was playing in Alberta and in junior hockey in Alberta, and then I was actually unofficially committed to Princeton. And the SAT wasn't really my thing, so that kind of fell through, and then I had met the staff here at Union, and then I came down to visit and just fell in love with the place, and I think I committed a week later, and I think another factor for me was they had talked to me about, I saw where the program was going, and the guys that were here before us that were building it, so we could continue doing that with Adam Decision, Kelly Zajac, Nolan Joltis-White, Brock Matheson, those guys, the work they put in to the program before us really made, built a foundation for it. And I think, and then the other thing too, that, they were talking to me, and then I had met Matt once before a Team Canada West tryout thing, and then Matt committed, and then I think I committed maybe a few days later.
So I was playing hockey, British Columbia, junior hockey. My brother was there as well. A big part of me coming to Union was my brother was a year ahead of me at Union. But in terms of the school and the hockey, I wanted a place that I thought we could win, and a place that would let me play kind of right away. So those were two things that I looked at, and then it was really about the coaching staff for me. At the time, Nate Lehman was the head coach. I really kind of connected with him on how he saw the game of hockey, and then Coach Bennett and Coach Barr were pretty good assistants in my mind from the people that I was getting recruited by, and things just kind of worked out from there. So definitely happy with the decision I made.
Great. So I shared all the success of this team, and a lot of people talk about the culture and the chemistry. So anyone jump in here. Well, what made this group so special?
I think what they just touched on, the foundation part. I mean, right when you show up to campus for your first visit and your freshman year, there's obviously a fine line of what to do and what not to do. And I think those older guys, like Dougie just said, Brock Matheson's, Juice, all those guys who were here before us, they set those roots. Maybe they didn't get the success, like we did on the ice, but they allowed us to go further in the sense, they let us, get all the opportunity to have that success. So, I think us, everyone says about our team, I don't even think it was the best team we had at Union. I think my freshman year, your guys' sophomore year was probably our best team. It's just, I think the connection we had as a team, from top to bottom, every class. I mean, there's a lot that goes on the ice, but a lot goes off the ice as well. And, we figured out how to put it all together.
Yeah, like I think the culture of, like the combination of culture of our team and then the opportunities the school gave. One, the hockey thing, like, we were super successful on the ice, but I think that culture that we were all part of and we all learned from, I think it really made a big difference for guys, including myself, just in life. The accountability, and I think that was a big thing from Coach Bennett when he took over. He taught us that life is hard, he taught us how to overcome adversity, and I think, whether for a couple of us playing hockey or whether guys in the business world or the medical world or whatever, I think you look at the success guys are having away from hockey, and I think, we learned so much here, and I think that's been a big part of all of our success in whatever everyone's doing.
Any others?
I guess I'll just add, if you think back to the national championship game, there was a clip before the game comparing Minnesota to Union. It was, tens of thousands of students versus 2. There was 30 scholarships versus 0, 20 NHL draft picks versus 2. So I think that says a lot to the culture of, we didn't have the stats, but we had the team to win a championship. And, we had guys playing 30 seconds a game, like myself, guys playing 30. But we all had a role and we all knew what we were doing on and off the ice to kind of achieve the ultimate goal, which was win the national championship. So I think just those stats speak to the culture of the room.
Yeah, and I think that everybody contributed too. I think, Kevin's not giving himself enough credit for how a good hockey player he was, but, I think from up and down the lineup, we had everyone contributing. I've been playing hockey a long time now, and I don't think I've ever celebrated a goal like when Kevin scored the national championship. I almost jumped over the bench. So.
For me, it was just all about the people, right? You look at the leadership from the administration of the school. President Ailey was super supportive of us. Obviously, Jim McLaughlin was super supportive of us. The coaching staff let us play. I think that was kind of something that maybe earlier on in our career as a class, we were, I don't want to say handcuffed, but there was a weight. They even wanted us to play, and then when Coach Bennett took over, he kind of let us play a little bit more freely. And I think the sign of a good coach is someone who just lets his players be in good opportunities to succeed. And that's what he did. And it took us a few years to get there, but I think the ultimate reason why we were able to win is just the people that we had.
Cole, speaking of those stats, I still remember the press conference where a media member asked Rick Bennett about the comparisons between Minnesota and Union with the phrase of Minnesota has 50,000 students, Union has 2,000. How do you compete against that? And Rick, in his usual way, deadpanned it and said, thank God they're not all on the ice. So many fans saw your games, were at your games, everybody knew your records, more than nearly 1 million people watched the national championship. People knew this team. What are some of the things that people did not know about this team? What were some of the traditions in the locker room? What were some of the mottos or different things like that?
Remember the fours used to dance before the game?
That's what I was going to say, pre-game dance party.
Losers. I think one thing that some people might not know, and I remember Dan actually told me this, is when we played Providence in the, semifinals of the regionals, it was a little bit of a personal game, especially for our senior class and probably some of the juniors, because Nate, who was our coach our freshman year, actually became the head coach of Providence. So I think that was kind of a unique thing that a lot of people don't know is, or look into, is kind of the pressure that was probably, put on us in that game for that reason.
I'll just add, I think there was the fans and the town saw the games and the results of the games, but a lot went on behind the scenes, in the classroom. And I see Doc Wally, Cheryl. We spent a lot of time with Doc Wally, a lot of time with Cheryl, Dan Gableman. There was a lot of 5 a.m. workouts with Coach Bennett. We'll spare those details, but a lot of work behind the scenes to build that culture and work ethic.
And also, we found out like half our team can't swim. That was pretty interesting. Yeah.
One of the things that I thought was remarkable through this, and there was a lot of travel that was going on through final exams, a lot of time away from class, and during this run, the senior class had a 3.9 GPA during the hockey season. It's a team that now has 3 doctors and people that are just doing incredible things. Talk about the balance between academics and athletics, and the commitment to academics and the priorities you placed on that.
I think everyone that came to Union on the team actually wanted to graduate and, like, you know, do well in the classroom. We definitely don't see that in all college sports, right? And a lot of guys are just there for the athletics or whatever sport they're playing. We knew which professors, and it would be the majority of them, which would kind of help us out a little bit, because, you know, it was a pretty demanding schedule, missing almost every Friday class. So I think the professors were a huge help for all of us, and you know, we did share details with each other, as, you know, class by class, which professors you should probably take their class with. You know, I see a couple here, so I would say thank you to them, because they obviously helped us out quite a bit. And then I think we all had fun too. Like, a lot of us were in the same classes in class, in school, so I think that kind of helped out too. You know, kind of compete against each other on the exams, just like compete on the ice.
Yeah, I was just talking to President Harris about this. Obviously, a lot of us played junior, didn't go to school for those years, and it was very difficult coming in. And, you know, after not going to school for a year or two and coming to Union, it's pretty challenging. But, you know, the staff just really helped you out. The guys helped you out. You go to teachers, and, you know, they'd help you with outlines, essays, or study guides, whatever. And kind of like Bodie was saying, like, everyone was kind of together in classes. We helped each other out, but. Yeah, it's just like the family-oriented, like, small school. Everyone's trying to help everybody graduate. And, that's what helped me get through school. Just, you know, going to teachers and talking to them, saying, "Hey, I haven't been in school for 2 years, so I'm gonna need some help here." And they were, you know, welcomed me with open arms. And, you know, I was very thankful, because without them, I probably wouldn't have graduated. Probably would have just signed and got out of here. But the, you know, people that are here and how much they care about the student athletes is pretty impressive.
Cole, you should probably talk.
Second.
Yeah, so I really prioritize academics as well as athletics, but it was a school, like I said earlier, that the trimester structure, the small classrooms, the supportive teachers, it was, you know, easy to succeed in the classroom, even with the burden of Division I hockey, and that speaks a lot to the teachers and the structure at Union and the opportunities on that side, and super supportive all the way, you know, through freshman year, through submitting your thesis the final year. So big support staff, and on the academic side as well.
And I think the beautiful thing about Union, for the reason, you know, everybody's a different thinker, and I'm probably not as smart as Matt, Dan, and Cole, probably smart as Shayne. That is why I was not an econ major, not pre-med, and I gravitated towards history. You know, writing was kind of more my thing, a little bit of a different thought process, and I actually recruited Shayne to it as well, and Michael. So this is, you know, it's a testament to just kind of finding your way, I think, and everybody learns differently.
Yeah, I can add to Matt's comment too. Thanks to Brad Lewis and John Barber, because yeah, those Friday classes with games. You know, sometimes it was academics and athletics, and, you know, the and athletics part. So thanks to those two especially.
So help us understand. Take us through some of your greatest singular memories or experiences. I know hoisting the trophy you'll never forget, but what are some other things that you'll never forget about this run or the season?
I can jump in with a memory, but one of my favorite memories from the final game was the last, I think it was probably 90 seconds, minute. Coach Bennett put all the seniors out, so you know, Carr, Hatch, and Sullivan were on the front, and I was playing defense with Mat Bodie. So really cool opportunity to get some of that final ice time and, be on the ice for, when the clock ticked down.
Yeah, for me, obviously the hung bus ride from Philly to Union, that was pretty funny. And then we all met up at the seniors' house, walked together to 821, and all those guys are on the roof with champagne bottles. We walked underneath, and they just popped them and sprayed them. And the whole campus was there, and it's like a pretty special moment, like walking as a team and celebrating with the whole community essentially. And I just vividly remember that, just champagne shower.
Yeah, like when we drove back, we were all pretty hungover, obviously, and I remember Bo's like, yeah, just, we'll go take a nap. We're like still driving to school, and then he's like, just go take a nap, we'll do something tonight, obviously. And then right when we pulled in the parking lot, like the whole school was there, and the kids throwing us beers, and we didn't take a nap, obviously. So right, led into the backs, we put on all our shirts, and we wore our hats, and then we walked down to 821. I don't know if it's still there, hopefully it is, but yeah, we walked into the whole school pretty much waiting for us, and that was pretty special.
I'll just correct Vex. Vex, we were all pro college students. I don't think those are actually champagne bottles.
Just going back to the national championship game, one thing I remember was that, I think it was 4-minute stretch where we scored a few goals there to go in after the first up 4-2. You try and stay in the moment, but I remember thinking like, wow, we're up 4-2. I don't think we've blown a 2-goal lead all year. Like, I think we got this one. First shift they scored, 4-3, game on. But it was a pretty wild game with emotions and the swings, but it was a lot of fun.
So speaking of resilience, which this team certainly had, I can recall vividly the third period of the Boston College game, up a goal, and we get a 5-minute major against probably one of the best power plays in the country. And I wasn't measured on names, and it was a bad ball, but anyways, I put my head in my hands and just said, I can't believe this is how it's going to end. Talk about how you fought and what happened after that, particularly Kevin, you and Mike at the end.
Yeah, I'll jump in there quick. I never killed a penalty once in my Union career, and Matt Hatchu almost killed the guy from behind. He was ejected from the game, so we always had to kill a 5-minute penalty, and we probably only had 6 forwards that killed penalties. I usually just hung out at the other side of the bench with like Nick Cruz during the time, and I remember he came back to the bench and like I thought he was gonna die, and for some reason Rick told me and Mike Vecchione to go out, and I think kind of the rest is history there. Mike obviously had a great play on their goalie Patrick Demko, so pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, he said, we don't kill penalties, the guys are gassed, so I think there's probably 20 seconds left in the kill, and we iced the puck, and I don't know who they were coming up the ice, but he picked his pocket, made a terrible move on Demko, and threw it out front to me for a wide open net, so it was obviously a huge turning point for the whole team, obviously, killing a penalty, 5 minutes against that team seemed like forever. And then us who go out there don't kill penalties and end up scoring one, so we're just happy to get out of that and get a goal for the fellas.
Yeah, and there's actually a cool picture of the celebration after because it's like a bunch of misfits that are never on the ice together. I think it was me, Mike Vecchione, and the penalty just ended, so Cruz got on the ice. I don't know if he got the plus for it. And I think
I served the county.
That makes sense, Pacer. Yeah. You gotta have somebody, so.
Way to contribute.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you served the penalty there. Thank you, Matt Hatch, for almost killing the guy.
Well, we still remind Matt about that penalty every now and again. Maybe send the clip of him skating. So luckily, it's a good memory now because it wasn't at the time for Ashbone, but it was nice that he was able to keep playing.
So then there was the end of the game, and I believe this was the first time in college hockey history, but there's always the tradition of cutting the nets in basketball. And somebody on the team decided to cut the hockey nets. And I know the Philadelphia staff tried to stop us from doing it. The NCAA intervened and allowed us to do it. Who initiated that? Because
Mark.
Yeah, there's Mark Bender, definitely.
Please share some details.
Well, first off, I remember cutting the nets, but before I remember they had confetti put down. I don't know if it was the
It was
first
a
time
bad
they ever
idea.
did it. The stupidest idea. And it sucked for us, but it really sucked for Minnesota because like they were obviously really upset and wanted to get off the ice and we literally couldn't move. It was actually pretty dangerous. But Mark Bennett came over with scissors once we got to the net, and Mark's got great hands, so he cut.
Talk about your experience at Messer atmosphere, facility, and what that was like.
I think, I don't know, I think it's like my favorite part of it. You know, the wood roof, the student section, all the fans, I think, you know, I'll never forget my freshman year, the first time I played RBI at Messer Rink, and when we scored the first goal, the whole building was shaking. And like, you know, there's 2,200 people in Messer Rink, and I think, you know, for 2,200 people, the whole building shaking, there's, you know, it's just such a special place, and like for me, it's just I have so many fond memories there, and you know, I think I remember walking my last game there my senior year, and I got about halfway to the rink, and I started crying, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be the last time I ever get to play here, and you know, I think that place has a very special spot in my heart.
I think it was just a huge home ice advantage for us. Like, I don't think during, like, we always went into every game thinking we were going to win. Obviously, that's not what happened, but we always had that thought, that belief. And I think Mesa actually, you know, from talking to guys that I've met after Union that played against us, where they played at Clarkson or RPI or whatever, they said it was a tough place to play. And, you know, I think the Union community kind of made that so, because it's not the biggest rink, obviously, but it's loud. Fans kind of feel like they're right on top of you. So I think it was a great place to play college hockey, and you know, I think everyone's a little sad to see it go in the next year or two.
Yeah, I'll echo that. There's, you know, a lot of individual good memories from that rink, like, you know, being summoned to Section P if you were scratched, or, you know, Cookies screaming from his same spot during the national anthem every game, and just a lot of great memories of the consistency through the 4 years, and, you know, the fans were always there during the school year, during the breaks, and it was a fantastic place to play.
Yeah, it was pretty loud.
So you had your first impressions of Mohawk Harbor and the skeleton of the new facility. What are the initial thoughts?
I think it's going to be great for the program, great for the school. You know, college athletics, you see all these new facilities being built, and I think it's going to be great for recruiting and, you know, helping the programs move forward. You know, obviously we're sad to see Mesa go, but I think there's a whole lot of excitement. It looks fantastic. I think having the casino and the hotel is going to be great for parents coming to visit, recruits coming in to see it. So, yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, probably another home field advantage there for away teams to go to the casino before the game.
Like you go to Vegas, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, just like any, you know, the NCAA landscape is so drastically different, even 10 years from, you know, what we played in, and, you know, you got to modernize to adapt to, you know, keep going. And, you know, I think, you know, everyone on our team, the guys before us, laid our foundation. And, you know, obviously it sucks to, you know, see the old rink go, but, you know, you gotta adapt to survive. So, you know, it's definitely cool to see. I was talking to you. I mean, it was a brown field 10 years ago, and, you know, just to see everything what it is now, it's pretty cool to see. You know, especially when you stay Schenectady, sometimes people flinch, but, you know, when you see this now, it's kind of different.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, kind of back when we were all here getting recruited, it was a lot different. Now you just drive by here and see all the new developments and all the excitement about the new rink, and just all the bars and restaurants that are available to us now. It's just obviously going to help with the recruiting. Obviously, the portal is kind of messing up college hockey a lot. You can just get up and leave whenever you want. It makes it very difficult and not a lot of loyalty, but you know, we already talked about how great the school is, and then we got a beautiful new facility at the Old Hawk Harbor, so it's definitely going to help, and it's beautiful. It's just beautiful skeleton right now, but the pictures look amazing. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
We got about 10 minutes. I'm happy to open up to anybody in the audience that may have a question. You probably will, but.
We got one in the back.
Ken, you're going second.
Tim.
For those of you still playing, you played a lot of hockey since this moment 10 years ago. How much of the moment 10 years ago carries into your professional game? Have you ever thought about it in a situation in a pro game where you've done something together prior, like this, that carries you farther into the pro game?
I mean, pro is such a different game. You know, college and what we did is so special because you're only with some guys for a year, you know, your class for 4. It's such a special thing that, you know, you have a moment that we had with all the success of, you know, winning conference titles and ultimately a national title. And, you know, just for us to do that, and, you know, my parents, for how much hockey I played, they, to this day, still say the college game's the best game they've ever been to. So, you know, for me, I don't know if I take too much of the experience into my pro game, but, you know, it's in a special place for me because it's just a unique experience. You're only with these guys for a certain amount of years, and, you know, to do what we did in the time we had was, you know, pretty special. So, you know, it's a different experience than pro. Pro's pro. I mean, you're changing teams, you're changing cities, and you're not in the same place too often sometimes. So, you know, I think it's just a different experience, but, you know, again, what we did, you know, no one can take that away from us, and, you know, the way we did it.
I mean, for me, I think it's less about the actual game. I think it's more about the habits we learned here. I think it's about the accountability we learned here, the details we learned here, and that's what allows you to continue to play pro. I think, you know, I think we learned here very early that you got to keep working to get better, and I think that is one of the things that's, like, for me personally, allowed me to keep playing. And you know, I think it's less about the on-ice things, and it's more about the mentality and the habits and the attitude to show up to the rink with every day that's allowed me to keep playing.
You guys haven't brought it up, so I'll bring it up. The RPI brawl. What do you remember?
What happened?
I only talked to some of you guys about it back in January, but looking back on it, how much of that was a turning point and unified the team?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was necessarily a turning point, because I think we were pretty successful before that as well, but it definitely brought everyone closer together, because, you know, you stick through something that obviously wasn't our best result, but everyone stuck together, and, you know, seeing the team kind of go through a rough patch in terms of guys being out of lineup, coaching staff being a little bit different for a couple of those games. I don't want to say it was good for us, but you know, we found the good in that. So I guess good memory. Yeah.
For me, 2014 was more special after going to Tampa in 2012 and sitting through that final game. If I'm not mistaken, you guys went home after the semi. But what did you take away from that, and how did that help you win the championship?
I guess I'll start, but like Jim said, our freshman year, we won the league, made it to the tournament, lost first round. Sophomore year, I think we won the league championship, made it to the Frozen Four, obviously, and then you kind of show up to the Frozen Four for the first time, all the bells and whistles. You know, we had a yacht trip around the Tampa Harbor, big NHL arena, and so it was our first time kind of at that big stage, and we kind of were climbing up our league championship, the NCAA tournament, and then the Frozen Four. So I think the biggest learning for me was, you know, we deserve to be there, even though, you know, some of us were, or some people were surprised. So I think, you know, taken away from that is, you know, we have a good team, a good program. We deserve to be in the Frozen Four. So the second time around, it felt more natural, and it was a good learning experience for us.
I don't think you can say better than
Other questions? Yes.
Yeah, quick question for you guys. So, and the answer could be no different, but I know you have lots of friends who you knew before college, a lot of hockey guys since. What was different about your union experience? Obviously, you won national championship, but that whole experience, everything you described, Mike and others, like everybody says the same thing, and you're like, no, there was something different because we were union.
You know, like I think it was a lot of the culture, a lot of culture around one, the hockey team, two, around the school, and I think that for myself, like a personal experience I had. You know, I grew a lot when I was here. I grew a lot, especially in my later 2 years. And you know, I think being around the people on our team and being around, we had good people here, we had great people here. I think back to myself. You know, my junior year, Ikkala pulled me aside to have a conversation with me and challenge me on something. And you know, that's one of the experiences in my life I think back to a lot. You know, I learned so much from the people here, and they helped me be a better person. And I think, you know, I think that's what is so special to me.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us here today. Thanks to the 2014 team. We still have a great weekend slate of events. I'll remind everybody that tomorrow at Mohawk Harbor, beginning at 4 p.m., we will celebrate this team with the entire community. We'll show rebroadcasts of the Minnesota game as well too, and that will lead right into the Harbor Jam event. So all are welcome, and thanks everybody for attending here today.
Yes. I have one more comment. It's great to see Cheryl here. If Cheryl, not necessarily the guys here, but when you get to the golf tournament tomorrow, there might be some guys that need a breakfast club.
We'll end it there. Thank you.